Hello, welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jan. Today I would love to show you a very easy pop-up card. And since Valentine's Day is right around the corner, let's make a Valentine. So here's the first one. These are two solid colors. This has a very contemporary look to it, and you'll see if I do it this way, you'll see it is sticking away from the bottom of the card. We call this a base card. Another idea is to take scraps of gift wrap paper. This is striped paper. This is the paper. And I folded it along the lines of the stripes and then cut the heart out. So that's one idea. Another idea is inspired by conversation hearts. You know, those little tiny things we get in the store, and they have those fun messages on them. So for this, I used white paper and then colored each heart a different color with a marker. You could also use watercolors, crayons, anything you like, and then put a very simple message in. And I noticed on conversation hearts, the words are always in red. So I did it in red, I guess inspired by Valentine. Another idea, the last one today, is it doesn't have to be a heart. It can also be another shape, like a bee. And bees, of course, are very easy to work with because you can say, be mine, but you could also use it for another occasion. Say you want to send a get well card to someone. You could say, be well. You can imagine the possibilities with bees. Now, what we need is, to start this, is a base card. And this should be heavy. This should be a art paper or cardstock. This one is 10 inches across by 5 inches this way. So when I fold it, it makes a square card, 5 inches by 5 inches. That's a fun shape to work with. So that's one idea. Another one is, I just took a scrap of paper and folded it and just kind of cut the shape out. I don't even know what the measurement is. So there's two options for you to work with. Now for the interior, and I will start with heart, we need paper. We're going to fold it. Here's another idea for the paper. This is what I'm going to cut. This I just did with markers. I have no idea what it's going to look like. And that's kind of the fun of it. It'll be a surprise. You know, I think watercolors would be especially beautiful here because the colors would really blend together. So the first step is kind of to figure out how big you want the Valentine heart to be. And I'm just guessing. And the next step is to start folding it. And I'm just going to guess something like this. And then I will keep folding this accordion style. And it's good to make a nice sharp crease. And I'll just keep on going until I finish with this strip of paper. Remember, this is totally a surprise. And I'll keep on going, and I think I can do one more fold here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And I just trim off the excess. So now I have 3 folds. So 3 folds. You want 1 fold for each bee or each heart. And the fold helps keep the pop-up. It gives it some integrity. So I'm going to fold it back up, place it down. And I think you don't have to do this, but I'm going to draw a little heart. What I think looks like a heart. And I'm making sure that it's connected on both sides. And it's going to be very hard for you to see this pencil line. But when I cut, you will get a pretty good idea of what this looks like. And I'm going to start up here so that there's a good 3/8 of an inch or so right there. And I'll keep cutting this heart out. And I can correct this a bit. Let's see what that looks like. That's kind of fun. So the next step is to glue this to the base. Now because I want the folds to be the other way, sometimes the paper only has white on the back and you want to see where you're folding. So I always fold it with the color side out. And then I really need for these lines to fold the other way, so it's very easy to refold this, especially when you're not on TV. Then it goes much easier. Okay, so I'm going to open this up so you can see the fold is folding inside now, and that makes it very easy to glue to a base. So the next step is to figure out where you want the hearts to be. And when someone opens a card, they're not going to open it flat, usually. They're going to open it more like this. That's kind of fun. So I think that's where it should be. So what I'm going to do is keep my hand on this side. This is the trick to gluing pop-up cards, because it's very hard to guess. Now for this card, I want the line of the heart to be the same as the line of the fold. This is where the energy comes in a pop-up card. When you study paper engineering, you'll learn that that is the basis for all pop-ups. So here, I want this line, this fold line, to be parallel, meaning the same distance here as it is here. And I'm going to take this glue stick. Glue sticks are really easy to work with, but you can also use almost any kind of glue. And now I'm going to glue this, just this one side. And I put a nice decent amount of glue on it. Then I hold it and fold this card over that side of the card and give it a good press. This is the secret to making pop-up cards. Then I fold this over, because if you try to guess, I've tried it, it's very hard. You keep this where it was, where it's glued on the other side, and then glue this side. And this is going to help you align it perfectly. And this is how pop-ups are made. And I'm going to press it. Now ideally, especially if you're using liquid glue, you want to let it dry for just a little bit. But I'm going to rush this a bit and see what it looks like. So I'm going to open it for you. There you go. So that's how you glue a pop-up and how you make a pop-up. Now if you want to, I think I'll put this here just for fun, that's our new one. If you want to make something like a bee, I'll give you an idea of how to draw something like this. Okay, the first thing, a bee. This is kind of an oval shape. Actually, this is more of an oval. And then I pointed the end a little bit because bees do have that stinger there. And then for the head, I sort of tucked this in just a little bit here. And then made some stripes, made them very simple. So one sort of defines the head, and then two more, black, yellow, black, or just the opposite. And of course, two little antennae. And then I did draw the wings. Now the reason I draw the whole thing is, if you fold, we are going to fold it in half, is because if you fold it in half and try and draw it, when you open it, it will usually be a lot bigger, a little wider, because it's very hard to figure out how wide to make it, but you can test it. I mean, maybe you will be able to draw it like that. So then I cut it out, and then I'm going to, I think I will cut it out for you right here. I'll do a very simple cutout, because this one is a little bit more complicated. And you'll see, we use the same, this is for using a template instead of just drawing something freehand. You can also do this with a heart. And you can do a robot. You can make any kind of pop-up cards. You can do a dinosaur head, soccer balls. Okay, now we've got this. I hope this is the right shape. Okay, this one is a little bit narrower, so I'll use this. You want to fold this so it's the right size. And see, that's actually too big. So I'm going to fake it by making the wings a lot bigger. So what I do is I put the edge of the template on the edge of the fold, and then I trace around. And because these wings need to touch to the side so they stick together, I'm going to make the wings a little bit bigger. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but that is the bee template. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how to make pop-up cards. Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's, all the major holidays. Think of your holidays, whether it's Christmas or something else. Maybe Halloween, you could do bats that are connected. Lots of different things. So have a lot of fun making pop-up cards. And I have a question for you. Will you be my Valentine? Bye. Thank you for watching. Hello, welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jan. We have a holiday coming up that's especially popular in the southern part of the U.S. It's called Mardi Gras. The colors of purple, gold, and green signify Mardi Gras to most people. And this is a jester's hat made out of a paper plate. And people down there wear costumes, they go all out. There's music, there's parties. So I thought we could join in a very inexpensive way to do something with a paper plate. This is a crown more for a prince or a princess. This has sequins and jewels as inexpensive as I could find. And also it's painted purple on the inside and then gold, green, and purple on the outside. This is the paint that I used, but you can also use markers to give you a demo, or I can use watercolors. Any color that you like you can use. So here's how we do it. I've worked with paper plates before. I get a real kick out of it because they're inexpensive. That's the first thing. And what I'm going to do is cut this into 8 points. So here we go. I put the scissors kind of right in the middle, folding the paper plate and then cutting in the middle. And I'm going to do all the way to about 1 inch from the edge. So then I get this happening, which is what I want. And then I'm going to cut this, starting at the next point. Kind of do it in the middle. My best guess of where the middle is. And then I'll do the other side. And it is good to make a nice crease here. So I'm going to cut this again, starting at the point and going all the way to about 1 inch from the edge. Cut right on the fold line. It's really a guide, it's a cutting line. And cut the other one. Now for the jester's hat, if I want to make this, I can take the handle of a wooden spoon or something like that and just curve it out. And I might have to do it several times. And you can do that before or after painting, but that's how that's done. So here's the query. I have 3 colors and I have 4 points to color. So I won't work out evenly. So what I've decided to do, I'm just going to give you an idea of how I would do it. Purple is the main color, so I'm going to alternate and do every other point purple. And then, because I have 2 colors left and 4 spaces left, what I'll do is take green and do 1 and go right opposite and do green here. Then I'll take gold or yellow and then color the points like that. And that is a great way to take 8 points with 3 colors. That's what I love to do. So you want to color the points, and then the outside I do a solid yellow or gold, and that sort of glues it all together and it holds it together visually. And then for the jester, I told you we can round these points with the handle of a wooden spoon, and then I like to glue pom-poms on because that just looks like something a jester would wear. And I do opposite colors from what the point is. So the green goes on the purple, and then purple pom-poms go on the gold and the green. So there's that way the purple and the green are alternating. And that way you get the most interesting vibrancy of color, I think anyway. And for this one, for the crown, I did paint the purple first on the back, and then I let it dry, and then cut it. And then I did do the same color sequin on the top, just because I thought it looked nice, and it's different than this. And then in the same order, glued on jewels and sequins, and then put some sequins right here on the base. You could also use rickrack along the base. You can also make jewels out of paper, especially metallic paper would really look like a jewel. And then the pom-poms should be glued on with white glue or hot glue, low temp. And the jewels can usually have a sticky backing, so you can just pop them right on. But the sequins will need some kind of glue. And I usually use a glue stick. That usually works pretty well. So there's an idea for all of you princesses or princes out there, or anyone who wants to be a jester. So have fun on Mardi Gras. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jann. St. Patrick's Day is March 17th, and I have a shamrock for you to make. This is the true symbol of Ireland. It has 3 lobes. 4 lobes is more of a good luck clover. So this is the true St. Patrick shamrock. He was a real person, born over 1,500 years ago in England. He had a difficult life. This is what I've read anyway, I don't know for sure. Moved to Ireland, became a missionary, and then became a saint. So it's a huge celebration there. And it has become one here too. You can make a larger shamrock if you wish. So these are paper. I use 2 colors of paper here, although they're very close together. It's probably hard to tell, but fun to make. So here's how we do it. For shamrock, we need strips 1.5 inches wide by 9 inches long, 8 to 9 inches, something like that. And that makes a shamrock like this. So this is cardstock, also known as scrapbook paper. The first thing you do is fold it in half, and we are matching the ends. And then make a nice crease here. And this is the time, if you want to add a loop right here to hang your shamrock, this is the time to do it. So I like to use glue sticks. You can use white glue, hot glue, any kind of glue you like, really. And I only do one end, and I'm going to glue about 3/4 of an inch from the end. I don't measure it. You can if you wish. And then I'm going to glue this ribbon down right in the center, and it goes this way, if you can see that. I'm even going to straighten this out a bit. And then add another little bit of glue and fold the end of the ribbon over just a little bit above it, so it looks like this. Now the next step is to add some more glue to the ribbon, because we are going to fold this. So the ends, we're going to fold the ends in and match them. This is going to make a heart shape. You can see how the loop is formed at the top. Now what I like to do is hold it, because if this glue has to dry, I like to put a clothespin. I love clothespins, just like that. And just let that glue dry. So we need 3 of those for the shamrock. And I happen to have 3 made right here. So here's how you glue them together. You glue the tip of one, and then The side that's going to match it, we glue right here and attach it at the tip. And then we glue this side, the side that will match, like that. They go together like that. And you just hold it for a few minutes, just to make sure the glue really sets. And I think that's pretty good. And then for the stem, I have 2 long pieces. I fold the top part down a bit, 1 inch, scant 1 inch, and I do that with the other side. So this is going to be the stem of the shamrock. We're going to glue these together, but not the folded part, just the body of this. I have a pretty long piece of paper here, so I'm probably going to trim this off. Now I put these together, so it looks like that. And then I will glue these separately, like that. Glue sticks are wonderful. You can use, as I said, any kind of glue. And then I'm going to push this into the base of the shamrocks and just press it. So there you go. Now that's a pretty long stem. So I'm just going to cut it off. And I think I'm just going to cut it off at an angle. So there is a shamrock. Now if you want to make this larger shamrock right here, the way I did it was I cut the strips 1.5 inches wide by 11 inches, so they're a little taller. So they are make a larger leaf or heart shape. So this is the size we just made. I'm going to tuck it in here, glue it first, glue the very tip, like that, and then just try to tuck it in. I might have to squeeze it a little bit, but that is how you do it. And using the same technique of gluing 3 of these together. So that makes your large shamrock. Now another shamrock that's very popular in the US is the 4-leaf clover. And it's considered lucky because you're lucky if you find one. So this uses the same heart shape, but they're glued together just a little bit differently. So I'll show you how to do that. I made these in metallic gold paper, just for fun. And I'll glue these together. Again, I always glue the tip where I think they're going to join. Now metallic paper doesn't glue all that well, so I think I need a little bit of luck here. I'm going to move this out of the way. So those 2 are together, and the points are matching. I get a good press. I'll do the same with 2 leaves or hearts on the other side, and then press these together. And then I'm going to glue this right here. And I have taken the liberty of going ahead and gluing a longer piece for the stem, and then just 1 flap here. And I left it open at the bottom because I thought it looked nice. It's just another option. And when I glue, I do like to glue on paper. So I'm going to glue just the white part. And I'll attach it to these 2 right here. You can see that. And then I'm going to put some glue here, lining up everything, and then add these like that. And I think this is taking a while to stick, so I'm going to use those clothespins. You get the idea. So there's a 4-leaf, a lucky 4-leaf clover. This is fun to give to someone too, to wish them luck, like if they're going to join a team or something like that, or start school, or just anything. Now you can also glue the two different sizes together, side by side, to make a little garland for a window. And the way I glue these together, is I set them down like that, because that way it lines up all the tops. So if you can put a piece of yarn or a string in each side, you can make this as long as you like. And what I love is you can use scraps of paper and make something fun with it. And also, if you want to do it for another holiday, you can use different colors. See how that changes the mood of it? Now for Valentine's Day, or your room, if you like hearts, you can also glue them together like this, and then make a wreath by turning them this way. And if you want to hang this up, you can put yarn through these two right here and hang it up like that. So those are lots of things to do with strips of paper, 1.5 inches wide, 9 inches or 11 inches, and a bit of glue and a pair of scissors. So happy St. Patrick's. I wish you the luck of the Irish. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jan. Here's an idea. What do you do with one scrap of paper? Whether it's part of a grocery bag or an old envelope or a manila folder, something like that. It's nice if it has a little bit of body. Well, here's an idea. First of all, take it and fold it in half and make a nice sharp crease. Then I'm going to make a very simple shape with this. I'm just going to take the top and round it off. And then I open it up to this. And you're wondering, what can I do with that? Well, one thing you can do is make a face. It could be from a book you're reading, a story you're reading. It could be, you could do one of each member in your family and use it as a place card, maybe for a party or Thanksgiving or something. This is supposed to be me. So that's one idea. And the crease really helps it hold up and stay up. You could also fold this in half and do an animal shape. Here is a bunny. I did this out of a grocery bag. So the paper is a little thin. Bunny could have one ear folded down. You could do any kind of animal you like. Maybe it's a tree or a flower. And maybe you fold this up and mail it to somebody with a little greeting written on it. So they could put it on their bedside table or a desk or something like that. So that's another idea. And a tip here is the base is large and that helps it stand up. It could be a jungle animal. Again, fold it in half, very simple silhouette. You could draw it to any animal you like. You don't have to glue these. Another idea is to do a trophy. If one of your friends just won a prize or something, you could put his or her name there. Or you could say, you're my first place friend, or something like that. So I use metallic paper, but you don't have to. It could be yellow, you could paint it. So those are ideas for what to do with a scrap of paper. You can make your own story up and make all the creatures that go in the story. Whatever you would like to do. A pair of scissors and something to color with or draw with, and you're good to go. So I hope you have lots and lots of fun. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.